Hi, I'm Michael from Priority Access. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how we use the IoT Portal.com app with our 4G intercoms and gate openers. The app invite QR code will take you to the login page for the app, and it will also force the app to allow you to put your phone number in if it doesn't already know it. The enroll QR code is for regular installers who can just come along and scan that QR code and it'll just automatically add that intercom or gate opener to their app. The starting point for us is going to be the camera app on my phone. Okay, there's the camera app. I'm going to cover up the other QR code. We want the app invite QR code, and then I'm going to click on that link, and that brings me to the login page for the IoT Portal app. I'm going to enter my phone number. So this is our Ireland number. Unless it's a UK number, always use the country code. So in this case, I'm going to do +353 87 332 5330. And yet we are in the UK, but this is my Irish phone. I clicked on login. I get a text message from the portal, which I'm going to click on. Click on the link, and there we go. This is this device I've got next to me. There's two things I can do now. I could go straight to the device and have a play with it, but what I'm going to do first, I'm going to click on install to install the app. So install app, install. Add that to the home screen. I can just go back to my home screen where the icon for the app will always be. Just clicking it and it brings me straight into the app. That means I can go straight to the unit by clicking on the name or the ID number. I'm actually going to name this one, and this can be our demo unit. So I clicked on the text that was there, which was the ID number for it, and I'm going to change that to demo unit. Save, close. If I go back to the home screen, the home screen for the app, you can see now the unit's called demo unit. You could call that your house or your front gate or whatever it is. So the first thing you'll notice on the app, you'll see the controls for the two relays inside the unit. So I'm going to operate the hash relay. Maybe I heard it click, and it shows us that the gate is now unlocked in red. I'll close it again. Likewise with the other pedestrian relay, I'll close that one again. The main thing we're really interested in though is the users page. So I'm going to click on users. It's already got my number in there, but there's something you've got to keep in mind, is that it's put my number in the app, but it hasn't actually synchronized it with the intercom. Now the intercom is new, so it doesn't have any numbers in. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to straight away click on save users. Normally, if you've done some SMS programming, you'd actually want to synchronize the users first. I'll show you what that looks like by just clicking on sync users. It's only got that one number though that we put in there. Syncing the users, by the way, takes a few seconds, so you can see the progress is kind of slowish. Anyway, there it is, just the one user that we've just saved to it. If we click on that user, I can change the name of that. So I'm going to call it Michael, and just to remind me that it's my Ireland sim, I'm going to do, not Ireland like that, Ireland with an R. Okay, if you click on user details, you can see there's my telephone number. So that's the first box. I'll just put the mouse there so you can see what I'm talking about. The next box down is the order of the phone numbers when you're calling, when it's doing the dialing out. So if we had like 3 people in there to call, obviously it would call me first because I've got the 1 there. The next person we put in, we want to put a 2 in that box. And the next person we want to put a 3 in that box so that it calls them in that order. We don't really need the email and the email type box. We could put an email address in there. Now, all that does, obviously we've got in through my telephone number, but we can actually also put my email address in there, and then it's another way of getting into the app. Once we put everybody's number in, you can just click on save users and it puts things back into the intercom. If you add a new user, for example, we can put caller 2, and in the order box we would put number 2. And we give him a number 07 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, for example. Okay, and you try and ring that number next. Maybe we wouldn't want him to be an admin. We maybe want him to just be called when someone presses the button, so we click on call only. Maybe we just want him to be dialed to open, in which case it's not going to call him. It's just going to allow him to ring the unit to open the gate. Or maybe we want him to have admin rights. So we're back on the home page for the app. I'm just going to go back into our demo unit. We see now we operate the output relays from this screen, really easy. There are a few other things on the screen. You'll notice, by the way, the buttons sometimes are grey, and that's whilst it's checking that it can contact the intercom, which should be the case if you've got data on your SIM. We have a few things like test. We can get the intercom to send us a text message, for example. We could ring the office. How about that? So if we put 0151 453 4537. On some models you can get it to read something out, but not on this model, so I'm going to click on make call. Basically this is just to test out your SIM card and to check you can do things. It can make calls and make text messages. You might hear the phone ring.
Your call to priority access.
Okay, to connect the call to priority access. Oh, that's the intercom. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to hang up on that. Okay, so that's just basically telling the intercom to ring a telephone number just to test it. We can do the same with text messages. You can also see what the last message you got. It's probably a get link message from me. If we go into the settings, we can see we can change all the settings from the app as well. It's always a good idea, if you've done anything by SMS, to click on sync, to sync the settings first. If you change anything in here, say for example, we might want to change the relay time back down to 2 seconds. That was actually from the SMS video we did yesterday. We changed it. So I'm going to change the relay time back to 2 seconds. So change it there. Go back to where it says save. Click on save. Okay, now the relay time for the unit is now 2 seconds. Plenty of options there. Ring time, speaker volume, for example. You can change the volume of the speaker if it's not loud enough. If you think the microphone's not loud enough, you can change the mic volume, call time, ring time, all this kind of stuff. You can do all that in the app. We'll come to the QR codes next. So those QR codes we just looked at, you can actually destroy all the ones that you've got in existence by clicking on that button, and that will destroy everything and give you new ones. If you're not really interested in QR codes, you can just get rid of them. You can just not save the page or not print the page. The idea is if you think, maybe someone's got access to your QR codes, you might want to delete them. Or you might need new QR codes, in which case you can get them from there. Then we have the 7-day timer. This does to some extent rely on your network setting the time correctly. You can actually see what time it is by clicking on current time get. So let's see what it says. Well, it's wrong. So what we can do is we can click on set clock. Now let's check to see if it set the clock right. There we go, yeah, it is actually 6:15. So we can put our times in here. You can put a start, stop time. We've got 2 periods per day. So you might want the gate to be open, say, from 9 AM. Maybe you want it open from like 9 till 10. That'll do, you don't have to put the call on in. And then in the evening, you might want it open from, say, 5 till 6. So we do 5 till 6. The copy button basically copies that for every day. To make it easy to remove the weekend, you can also just click on the erase button and it sets them back down to 0. So we can actually save that to the intercom now. Okay, that's saved in the intercom. The other thing we've got to do though is to enable the timer. Okay, it's definitely enabled now. Okay, so there's the 7-day timer, pretty straightforward. The only real gotcha is just making sure the time's right. I think finally for this demonstration we're going to look at the networks. So we click the networks button. This takes a while, so I'm going to cut this video, okay? You're not going to see it all. We're in Mossley Hill in Liverpool here, South Liverpool that is. You can see it's actually got a Tesco SIM in it, so it says it's O2 UK and it's on 4G. You can see there's also 2G available around here. We've got EE and another EE network. That other EE network is used by the emergency services, by the way. You can't select that. Then we can see we clearly got 3, but we only have 3 4G, and then we have Vodafone and EE 2G. We actually don't have Vodafone 2G around here, which is really interesting, but we just don't have it. We don't have any 3G networks either because the intercom doesn't have 3G in it anymore. 3G is pretty much gone in the UK and Ireland and most of Europe, so that's not available anymore. Now you can sort of ignore 3UK. It says you can select that, but I'm pretty sure with the Tesco SIM you can't. But we could actually click on the O2 UK 2G network, and we could select that. There's really no value at all in doing that though. So finally, we have the log button. There may be a few things in there, possibly not too much. There's some test calls we've done to it. There's the get link message we got from it earlier. It pretty much logs everything. If your network sends you a message, it won't recognize your network's phone number, so it'll put the message in the log. If it's read and understood your message, it doesn't put it in the log. We might look at changing that at some point in the future. One thing we should look at though is how you put a number in for the keypad. There's the phone number. This is this phone's phone number. We'll click on that. You can see all the user details like the phone number and who we are in the intercom. However, there's also this other section, access control media. This intercom doesn't have a tag reader, so you can ignore that box, but you can put in 1, 2, 3, 4 as the keypad code to open the gate. I'll just save that. Now we have to save that to the intercom as well, don't forget. So we can do all the amendments on this screen, but then we also have to definitely save it to the intercom. So we've saved the code, let's try it. I don't know if you heard it click. You might have heard it click again, but you saw it just swipe across there to show that the relay was activated and deactivated. What do all the other QR codes do? Well, one of them gets you to the live screen directly, but the other one of interest to us, we're going to take a look at now. So I'm going to go back into my camera app. Unfortunately, I just have to put my hand over a few other codes first. The enroll page is actually quite interesting. Now, this is for regular installers who already have the app. So it's come up with a link there. I'm going to click on it. And you can see it's actually added another intercom to my account. Let's click on it. This one's actually offline. It's a development unit. That's why it's called Priority Access Intercom. But if you go back to the app, you can see, go to home. You can see both intercoms are there now. So immediately, it just puts your user information into that unit. So you've got access to it straight away. You can actually click on it and go to users. There may be other users in there. Yep, but there is the phone number that we're using today. And you can see it's just put me in as an admin. So if I wanted it to call me, I'd have to change that to admin and call and then tell it the order. Maybe I'd be like number 3, for example, that I'd want it to call. But anyway, that's what the enroll enroll QR code's for. It's a very fast way of getting you enrolled onto a new unit.